Hey everybody, Paul here with Blue Ridge Hiking. We're going to give an attempt today to seam seal my Borah Gear tarp. I talked to John over at Borah Gear and he recommends using this windshield and glass sealer. It's available at most auto stores. It's flowable. It's got this nice adapter tip, the application tip, so hopefully it'll work good for us today. I'm going to do it here. We're going to try not to make too much of a mess. We'll see. Got a foam brush applicator. I'm going to try to make a nice seal over these seams. All right, so far so good. Trying to just put down just a small bead on each side. This seam has two rows of stitching, so just less than an eighth thick bead on each side. I'm trying to get a little extra here with these tie outs. It should soak into the seams pretty good from what I've read and what John said. You're mainly just looking to get it to soak into the threads and seal all those little holes made by the stitching. Seems to be spreading pretty good with this foam applicator brush. Now that it's getting some more silicone on it, it seems to be smoothing it out pretty good.
How long do you think is the last one?
I don't know. I would think that you would probably have to just do one application as long as it seeps in real good. I think you'll be set. I don't think this will be anything you have to do seasonally. We'll see. Most of my tarps have been tarp taped and not seam sealed, so this is my first attempt at seam sealing. But I know my other tarps that were tarp taped, some of them after 6 or 7 years, the tape started falling off. So we will see.
Why are you running two beads, one down each side versus one in the middle and spreading it?
Just I was trying to make sure that it got soaked into the threads as best as possible, and truly in the middle, in theory, is waterproof and doesn't actually need any silicone.
Paul says, why are you asking me so many questions? Trying to get rid of the dead air space. Make that look so easy.
Trying not to get too much on, more than I need here. For all you ultralighters, this is going to add a little bit of weight, probably about an ounce overall, doing the seam and the 4 mid-panel tie-outs that I have. But it's better than getting wet in the middle of the night.
That's so much joy. You don't love waking up wet?
No, usually don't get a good night's sleep if I'm worried about getting wet. That's where that third hand would come in handy.
So why did you choose that sealant over others?
Well, I'd read a few different places where some people buy regular silicone and then thin it down, and that seemed to me to just be one extra thing to do. This was, they consider it a flowable silicone. It seemed like it was made sense when John suggested it to me, and he is the professional. He helped me pick out all the other custom options on my tarp. So I felt confident taking his advice and going for it. And the auto parts store was closer than REI to go get it. And it was just a little bit cheaper. It wasn't much cheaper than the regular silicone from REI, but it did have the better applicator tip. That was probably the main reason that I think that this is working out much neater than I was anticipating.
Yeah, we tried taping it up to make sure you got a good clean seal, but our tape didn't quite work out too well.
No, I had read someone had tried that before, and I don't know what tape they used. We used blue tape and green tape, and it would not stick to my tarp. So we are just going for it like this, and it seems to be working.
I'll put a Amazon link to the product below. You guys get a chance, if you want to buy it, check it out. Shipped to your house for free. It's even closer.
Normally I would try to do this outside, but there's snow on the ground outside and it's not breaking 40 degrees today, so Zack let us use his basement to do it. This stuff doesn't have much of a smell. I was worried about how smelly it would be. So I don't feel like that's a big issue. Leave a window open, get a fan moving, and I think you'll be just fine. No guarantees though, that's just me.
Yeah, we don't have nothing down here. We're in the dungeon.
So I'm just trying to get this worked into all these seams, worked in to let the stitching soak it up, and that's supposed to be its job, just to get in there to the stitching. Fill them little holes that the needle makes as it's being sewn.
How long are we going to let this dry for?
It's supposed to cure in 24 hours. It says at least an hour before it's not tacky anymore. But I've also read that you definitely don't want to put your tarp away because it will stick together if you stuff it in your stuff sack. So we're going to try to leave it out for as long as we can. And I also have read that you can dust it with some baby powder to help it from sticking to itself until it's 100% cured. So I'm going to leave it here in Zach's basement for as long as he'll let me. Because that's to be the worst, is to ruin it, not leaving it enough time, have it all stick together.
I guess I just got me a new tarp, guys. All the nights I sleep on the ground, I need one.
Right, well that's the end of the main seam along top. It went pretty smoothly, guys. I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna go and check. You can kind of see the areas that are dry. I might add a little bit extra to each tie out here, especially on the underside. They look real good though. I may go back at a later point and do the tie outs on the top from the inside even. We'll see how it looks.
You got a glob on that last
when
one.
I'm all done. I can definitely tell you don't want to overwork it. I can see some of the spots that I did first are starting to tack up and it's not giving a smooth line when I hit it with the brush. So I would say that that is good, and if I see anything else later on, we'll make some touch-ups at another time.
Now we're gonna do your tie outs on the side?
Yep, we're gonna run around, come around to that side, we'll do some tie outs next. Alright, so we noticed my tie outs kept flopping in to the silicone. I was afraid maybe they would get stuck there after it all dried, so we pulled them up. It really helped to actually get the silicone in underneath the tie outs and making sure that all those are sealed real well. And now we're just kind of going back over it, looking closer at any spots that we had seen that might be light. I definitely noticed that now that it's drying, it's starting not to pull as smooth, so I just add a little bit of extra silicone and then hit the spots I think needed it. Alright guys, now we're going to hit the 4-panel tie outs. I don't think you guys need to watch them all. We'll do one for you and the other should be the same. Got it tied out nice, is making it nice and easy, keeping everything out of the way. I'm just trying to go over each stitch with a bead and then I'll rub it in. Making sure I get the tie out itself real good. This foam brush is definitely helping. It's working well. Keeping it nice and neat everywhere I need it. Alright, that looks like some good coverage. I was trying to get a little extra on these side pullouts. I have a feeling if anywhere is going to leak, it's going to be them because of the heavy stitching and the extra patching. So I'm going to get out in the woods here in the next few rainy days, even if I got to set it up in my backyard after this is all cured, and we'll test it out in some rain and I'll let you guys know how it all works. Thanks for watching, everybody.